Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and today I will be doing a book talk. The book I will be talking about today is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 3 in the Mistborn trilogy, and holy shit. For those of you who do not know, the Mistborn trilogy is a high fantasy that deals in this world called the Final Empire, and it's overrun by an oppressive ruler, and there's ash and there's mists, and then there's magic called allomancy, and people can swallow different kinds of metals, and they have powers, but only like it's one of those things like either you have one, you have all of them, or you have none, and it's just so freaking awesome. So if you have not read this, like, go read it and then come back and watch this and we can talk. The first book is Mistborn, or it's also called Final Empire, depending what version you get. So go read it and come back, because holy shit. Now that those of you who have read it are still here, let's just get into this, because this book, I finished this book a couple days ago, and holy fucking shit, like, what an fucking awesome, like, concluding novel to this trilogy. Like, I can't even, like, really wrap my mind around how, like, freaking amazing this book was and how much I loved it. The way Brandon Sanderson writes this world, like, this world is so freaking complicated, but he like writes it so that it's easy to understand. And I really like that in this third book we are still dealing with issues that we dealt with in the first book, but from a new perspective. So obviously, like, in the first book we see that the Lord Ruler is an awful, horrible guy, and he needs to be overthrown, and we need to unoppress the ska and like just fix life basically. But then we discover the journal, and like it is like what happens like within this book, and like all of the things that he went through to try and improve like human life after he took the power of Rune and everything. And then you're left pondering, was the Lord Ruler really a good guy and we just assumed he was a bad guy? But that's just because we didn't know what had really happened and all the things he did to try and like save the world. Like, the only reason there was ash and stuff, the only reason there was so much ash was because when the Lord Ruler first took the power, he tried to change the position of the world, and he accidentally moved it too close to the sun, so it was too hot. So then he had to make the ash mounds to help block out the sun and turn it red so that the people could actually survive. And it's just like, holy shit, like, I didn't see like any of this coming, and I was like, so who's actually like a really decent guy? And like, I know, you know, after a couple centuries of this evil being whispering in your ear at every moment of every day, you're gonna fucking start to kind of go crazy too. One of the things that I really enjoy about these books is we definitely get to see a lot of character development, specifically in the second book and the first book. Really, we see a lot of character development of Vin, and I did talk about this in my book talk for the Well of Ascension, how much Vin like changes and improves, and I really enjoy that. Within this book we get to see the character development of Spook, who's honestly one of my favorite characters, particularly after this book. Like, I really loved him so much, and we get to see, like, in the first book he doesn't really talk because he has a weird accent / dialect, and he's just the lookout. And then we kind of get a little more of him in book 2 after Kelsier dies. You know, he takes more of a position, and then definitely here in book 3 he's out on his own mission, and he ends up trying to take this city back for itself and like try to help people, and he's trying to deal with some personal internal struggles. Like, I'm useless, like I can't do anything, like I'm just a tin eye, like there's nothing else I can do but, you know, enhance my senses and all of that. And then he realizes, like, I'm not going to be useless anymore, like I'm going to be a leader, and I'm gonna make something of myself, I'm going to contribute to this solution. And I really freaking enjoy it, and I loved getting to see him step up and change it. Sadly, however, he is under the impression of Rune for part of the book, pretending to be Kelsier, and it was really sad. but he was able to get out from under that control and still try to right everything, and it works out for him in the end. In the end, he is left to be the ruler of the people, and I just love Spook so much, and there better be a freaking mention of him in the following spin-off trilogy that I have. There has to be a mention of him, because if there's not, I'm gonna go crazy. I gotta know what happened afterwards. Holy shit. And like, let's just take a moment. I didn't realize his name is Listerborns, and I didn't realize in the first book, well, obviously you can't realize because they don't talk about it until the third book, that that's not his real name. Like, he chose that name when he left to live with his uncle, and I always thought it was a weird name, but also it's like a fantasy novel, so I'm like, who doesn't have a weird name? But then, like, he explains that Listerborns in his dialect means I've been adopted, and he was adopted by his uncle, and it was so freaking cute. I was like, oh my gosh. And like, the fact that he punishes himself for what happened to his uncle in book 2 is so sad, and I'm just like, why are you doing this to yourself, Spook? Like, it wasn't your fault. Like, she's like a little baby, and I just want to take him, and I just want to hold him and tell him everything's gonna be okay, and then he doesn't have to do this to himself. Can we just take one moment to appreciate Vin and Elend in this novel particularly, which is probably one of my favorite scenes in this novel, is Vin and Elend's first dance at one of the balls in Vadrix, I think is how you say the city name. I know it starts with an F. But they have their first dance, and it is so freaking cute because they never actually got their first dance, and now they're married, and they've been married for like a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere in there, and like they still haven't had their first dance, and it was so adorable. And honestly, like, I freaking love them so much, and like, the ending broke my heart, but you know, that's okay. Then, like, this book particularly, like, the last battle that Vin has in Lutherdale, and I'm not gonna say Lutherdale because that's what I've been saying, but that's not how it's pronounced. Lutherdale, like, it just shows how kick-ass she is. Like, she is so freaking awesome, and like, nobody can say she's not, because she is. She's just like such a kick-ass character. And holy shit, I did not even think about Vin's earring that she wears all the time. It's just a tiny little fake stud, which honestly, you kind of question why she wears it all the time. I mean, I know her mother gave it to her, but her mother was also like insane and apparently tried to kill her. And like, I really didn't think anything of it. And then we learned that if you are pierced by a spike, there's a whole another kind of allomancy. And when you're pierced, like, whatever it is, it's pierced into like a misting, for example, and it takes their power, and then you're stabbed with it, and then you get their power. I honestly did not freaking think of anything about it until this book. And then I didn't even think about it then when we were really dealing with it, like with Spook and the Citizen, and then Zane. We find out Zane, because that spike that was in that random spike he had in book 2, and we're like, what the fuck? We find out it's because Rune was controlling him that way, and like all of the people, like, it still didn't even cross my mind about the earring. And then the earring, like, was used to kill her baby sister, and her baby sister was a misting as well, and she was a seeker. So when her mother killed the baby with the earring and then shoved the earring into Vin, like, Vin had extra bronze, which is why she can sense through people's copper clouds and like figure out like what they're burning, and she can like pick out what metal somebody is burning. And like, holy shit, like, I didn't even think that. And then all of these years since her brother has left, she's been having his voice in her head, and you think it's just like, you know, from so many years of being tracked down by him and told this and this and this and this. I didn't even think about it being Rune, and then we find out it's fucking Rune. And like, Ruin, holy cow, this guy is fucking nuts and crazy, and now I see why you were imprisoned. But I would just like to say that when Counselor first appeared to Spook in the burning house and was like, oh, drink this and like you'll have a power or whatever, like after a little while of seeing him, I pieced together, I fucking called it being Rune and not actually Counselor. However, I did get my hopes up because I was like, yes, Counselor, why not? We love him, come on, like, but I freaking called it. I called it being Rune. I called it so bad, and like, I'm so sad. Why would you use him? 'Cause it still hurts. Like, Counselor being dead still like has a very sore spot in my heart, and I'm just not okay with Brandon Sanderson for doing that. Also, I am not okay with Brandon Sanderson for threatening Spook's life twice, not once, twice, freaking twice. He almost dies, and like, I'm at the point where I just want to chunk the book against the wall, because why would you do that? First you almost kill him by stabbing him and burning in a house, and then you almost kill him by having him burned to death. Like, why would you do this? Like, why do you do this to me? Why do you always try to, or actually do, kill my favorite characters? Like, why is this a thing with authors to kill people's favorite characters? Like, it's not okay. It's not okay. But I mean, Spook survived. However, like, Vin and Ellen, like, can we just take a moment? Because literally, when Ellen died, like, honestly, I did not think he was gonna die. Like, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was like, it's not gonna happen. Like, he's gonna live to the end. They're gonna live happily ever after. The world's gonna be fixed. And then he fucking gets decapitated. And literally, as soon as I read that, I put the book down. Like, I was sitting in my bed and I was reading it. I put the book down and I looked up and I looked around my room, and I just had this what the fuck like expression like on my face. Like, did that really just happen? Did I honestly just see that happen? Because now I want to go cry. Like, why would you do that? And then of course Vin is like up because she's like a god at this point, and she's just like kind of okay with it. But then again, she explains that she said goodbye to Ellen once already when we thought he was gonna die in book 2, and he didn't, and then he became an Allomancer, and it was just like really sad because I was like, no, I want you guys to be together forever, and like, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's honestly not okay. And then what does Sanderson does? He goes and he fucking kills Vin too. Well, technically, Vin sacrifices herself also to kill Rune, and it's so freaking sad. And I was like, and then you see her fall from the sky, and she falls on top of Ellen, and I was just like, no, my heart, it hurts so bad. Like, why would you do this? But like, at least they're together, and my heart. And then freaking Sazed becomes the god. He was the hero of ages. Like, I didn't even see that ever coming. And of course, honestly, Brandon Sanderson put it that way because he didn't want anybody to think the hero was going to be the least likely person we were going to suspect, and it was definitely Saz. And like, holy cow, like, I just want to say that the ending to this book is probably my favorite ending that I have ever read in the entire world. And obviously, Saz fixed the world. Like, he figures out, because he has the knowledge of everything under the sun, he figures out how to reposition the world, how to bring back the grass and make it livable again, and all of this stuff, and fix the diseases and all of this stuff, and I love it. And then everybody comes out of the storage caches, and Spook is there, and Spook's healed, and he is left a letter and a book basically that Saz wrote, which is what we read before each chapter, tells Spook that he is now going to lead these people, and it's so freaking great. And then, like, even though it is so freaking sad because Ellen and Vin, their bodies are on Earth when all the people leave out, at least Saz reattached Ellen's head so it wasn't like decapitated still. But then it was sad because Saz says, you know, I tried to fix them, but like bring them back, but I haven't quite grasped how to do that yet. And then he also talks, so obviously like Saz really struggles in this book with his religion because that was his main area of expertise as a keeper, was religion. He kept like 500 different religions, and he was trying to find one that actually fit in and was plausible, and he went through all of them, and none of them did seem like they could actually be real. And it was really bothering him because then Twindle died, obviously, like Twindle died in the second book, and he didn't really want to believe that she was just gone. Like, you know, you want to believe that like a lot of religions, there's an afterworld that you go to, like heaven, or you know, you get reincarnated or whatever, and he really wanted to believe that. And but obviously going through all these religions, like none of them really lined up. They all had contradictions, and he was just really dealing with that. And the fact that at the end he does find out that there is an afterworld, there is a heaven, because he mentions that he talked to Vin and Ellen and they are happy where they are. Like, they didn't want to come back. Like, finally, like, they have, like, particularly Vin has never had a very easy life. She has always fought and stolen and tried to survive. Ellen had a more cushier life in the beginning, but after the fall of the Empire, you know, so for like 2 straight years they have been struggling, and they have been fighting, and they have been trying to survive as well as you know, keep everybody else alive at the same time as well. And it's just such like a nice relief to know that, you know, they're somewhere else. Like, they're not in pain, they're actually happy. They're going to actually be able to be 20-something-year-olds without having to worry about running an empire, trying to save the world, and like keep everybody alive. Like, it's just, like, honestly, it made me so happy that that's how the book ended. And we still, like, although they died, we still do get a closure from the two from them, and that's honestly one of my favorite things about this. Like, I can't even, other than that, like, explain how much I love the ending of this book. Like, it just, like, I think it kind of wrapped everything up really nicely, and we still got closure from 2 of our favorite main characters even after they are gone. And like, now we know that the world is in good hands because Sazed is in charge of the world. And you know, I'm really excited to see where this spin-off series goes. Yeah, now that I'm done ranting about this, like, holy shit, like, this book exceeded my expectations for a concluding novel. And obviously I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, because how can you not? So yeah, that is it for my thoughts and rants about this book. Sanderson, I hate you. God, do I love you, because you can write some kick-ass fantasy. So anyways, let me know in the comments, like, what your favorite scenes, what your favorite parts about this book were. You know, do you agree with anything I agree with? If you disagree, you know, it's okay, let's talk in the comments. Also, if you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos from me. I post new videos every Thursday. So yeah, until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!